One of the most dangerous weapons you can have as a card magician is letting your participant shuffle the deck, yet maintaining a certain group of cards that you need where you need them to be. So in this video, I'm going to teach you a way in which you can do that, allow them to shuffle the deck, yet maintain the top stock of the deck, whether it be the aces or a group of maybe all the spades in order for the mind mirror trick or whatever, just a small group of cards on top of the deck that you can maintain while the spectator shuffles the deck, or so it seems. Now this is sort of a hybrid of a few different things, which I will get into right now. Let's get into it. Alright, so this is how this would look if I was doing it for somebody, okay? So let's imagine that somebody's here, and this is what I would say to them. Alright, so now for this, we're going to try to find some good cards to use. Alright, so to do that, let's take a look at some cards. Do me a favor, spread off some cards off the top of the deck and turn them face up on the table. Alright, we got a 5 there. Keep mixing the deck and throw some more on top. It doesn't matter how many, just take a few and keep mixing just like this, and then they do that until all the cards are gone there. If there's no cards left, alright? So after you shuffle the deck, you always have to cut, alright? So do me a favor and cut about half the deck over to here. So they do that, alright? A 6 of the clubs and the 9 of the clubs. I don't know why I said it like that, but I did. So now that tells me all I need to know about this trick. So we'll turn this face down and go ahead and give it one more cut over to here. So they do that, and the pack was cut and shuffled beyond my control, but I think at this point I'm able to find the cards that I need. In this case, the 4 aces. In fact, all I do is this, and I can cause those aces to jump all the way up on top of the deck, just like that. Alright, so it's not much of a trick. I just wanted to show you this false sort of mix. Not a false mix, but a sort of a holdout of the top cards. Alright, so this is what it is. You want to start out with a group of cards that you want to control, or just a single card, it doesn't matter, on top of the deck. In this case, I just have the 4 aces. Now, there are 3 major things going on with this that are, or inspired from, that makes this whole thing happen. It's sort of a hybrid of each of those things. The first one being, and the most prominent one, is of course Benjamin Earl's Spectator Shuffle Holdout, and the second one is Steve Beam's Fairness Cut Force, alright? And the third one is of course the JOC Cut, and you combine all these things into one monster, and you have this. So I started playing around with the Fairness Force by Steve Beam, and since the deck has to be face up, it just makes sense to do the Benjamin Earl Spectator Shuffle Holdout sequence first, which leaves you with a face-up deck. So this is what that is, alright? So this is Benjamin Earl's thing, and in this case, well, you do the 4 aces. Now you give the deck to the person, and you have them spread some cards off the top of the deck, and have them square it up slightly so that, you know, you're not flashing aces already, right? So have them spread off some cards, or just cut some cards, it doesn't matter, off the top of the deck and put them face up there. And it's kind of important that they're not spread like this because they'll see aces, like I said, so try your best to manage it to where they're squared. All right, so now, a lot of times, especially in the book, he'll say, now go ahead and give the cards a mix. And then that sort of excludes this from ever being mixed. And that's sort of, I thought was kind of weird. So instead, what I say is go ahead and keep mixing, mix them some more, right? So as if these were already mixed. So by saying, go ahead and mix those some more, that in their head tells them that these were already mixed because they were in their head because I mixed them, all right? So by saying, mix them some more, that's not saying, now mix these, which sort of separates these from those in a way, I felt like. So always say, now mix these some more and keep putting cards on their face up, all right? Mix them some more, blah, 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 and keep doing that. Keep putting cards face up and mixing until there's no cards left, all right? And your justification for doing this, for putting cards face up, can be anything. I just said we're going to try to look for some good cards, and we'll do that by looking at them, right? So it's a pretty good justification, but hey, you can throw that in there if you want, but it's not necessary. Now, the second part of this sequence comes the Fairness Force by Steve Beam. Alright, so what that is, it was done with 2 just one cut, all right? So the way that would look is this. You would gesture and say, like, now cut the cards about half over to here. And by gesturing, they'll know what to do, right? They'll cut some cards over to here. Now say, they better be face down, so that you turn them face down and you can have them complete the cut. But that does nothing. That's not even a cut, because all you're doing here is basically that, right? Just turning the deck over in 2 steps, right? But it looks fair, hence the name Fairness Force. But that just maintains the cards that were on top. But the whole thing looks like a cut. So sometimes, you know, at least in my brain, sometimes that might look obvious. So that's where I combined the OC cut with it, so we can do it 3 times. I think the 3rd packet really, in this case, enhances the illusion. So same thing, we're here. Do the gesture thing, have them say, cut about half of cards over to here, so they do, and say, yeah, why don't we turn these face down so we can't see the cards anymore? Do me a favor, cut one more time over to here, and then you gesture with this one over, just like you did when they were face up, and they do that. Now you're in this position where it's the OC cut, you know, configuration. So the pack was cut 3 times, you shuffled it, none of that was in my control. And as you're talking, you just casually pick them up, and so the order is maintained, except for the bottom 2 portions. But that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the fact that the top cards are maintained, and that is I think it's pretty good. I think in a layman's point of view, it's impossible to backtrack and impossible to follow. And if you need to have 4 aces or a single card or 2 cards on top of the deck and inviting the spectator to shuffle and cut, I think this fits the bill. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It truly does mean the world to me. And so if you learned something new and if you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.